Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerous, and today I have another monsters list for you. And I really feel like in the current meta, monsters is pretty diverse. You do have a few options. And this list is a big monsters Arachas swarm list. So Arachas swarm is our leader ability. We can use that to spawn a drone on an allied row, a little 1-point drone. And whenever we play an organic card, then we also spawn a drone on a random row. And this is a kind of organic themed list. The drone is just a little 1-point insectoid. And so what we can do with this is we have abilities like Adrenaline Rush, which is a organic card, which can boost an allied unit by 8 if there are no other units on the row. So we can trigger a leader ability to make a drone on a row, and then we can always apply Adrenaline Rush to then boost it by 8. That's also an organic card, so we would then spawn another little drone. We can also utilize Adrenaline Rush with cards like Triss Telekinesis. We play this on the ranged row, and then create and play a bronze special card from either player's starting deck. And, you know, this may not hit Adrenaline Rush if our opponent also has bronze special cards in their deck, but typically we'll see something like either an Adrenaline Rush or a Hideous Feast, or a natural selection. So Hideous Feast, another organic card. We damage an enemy unit by 3, and then we boost an allied unit by 3. So we can always apply this boost to, say, a little 1-strength Arachas if we don't want to go too tall. We also have our natural selection, damage an enemy unit by 4, then spawn a drone in a random allied row for each point of excess damage dealt. So again, more drones that way, and another organic card. So it's nice to be able to play Triss, hopefully hit the Adrenaline Rush, and then boost Triss with the Adrenaline Rush. Similarly, we can do this with Whispess Tribute. On the range row, play an organic card from your deck. So we put her down, then play the Adrenaline Rush and boost her up to 10. Again, be aware that they have to be the only units on the row, though. Another card that synergizes with your little drones is Imlerith. Imlerith sets an allied unit's power to 7. So if you have a little 1-point drone, you can play Imlerith for 7 points himself and then boost up a unit to 7. Alternatively, if you have dominance, which means if the biggest unit is on your side of the board, you can target your opponent's unit, so you can use this to bring their power down. But typically, you're going to be using this to boost yourself. The other thing with Imlerith is it synergizes with Imlerith's Wrath. Damage an enemy unit by the power of your highest allied unit. If you control Imlerith, destroy an enemy unit instead. So if we have Imlerith on the board, then we can use Wrath to just destroy anything. However, often we will have a tall unit on the board. We will have a big unit. So even without Imlerith, we can deal a decent amount of removal with this card. You know, we have cards like Yghern, which is a 13-point body. This gains armor equal to the number of cards in your hand. If the unit has no armor, it will destroy itself, so be aware of that. We also have Ozzrel, who we can use to consume a unit from our graveyard, so usually a big unit. And again, this is going to be giving value to Wrath. We have Goliath, which is a 10-point body. But bear in mind, if this dies, your opponent will summon the highest unit from their deck. So they can kill this in order to gain points themselves. Although sometimes it can be worth killing it yourself if you want to thin your opponent's deck and pull something good out. Then we also have Glustyworp. Glustyworp is going to trigger with our Arachas. So when we play this, we destroy all units with 1 power, such as your Arachas. And then each unit destroyed, we boost ourselves by 2. So we're actually gaining value from each of these little Arachases that we're spawning with our organics. And again, another tall unit, another big unit. And all these big units are going to synergize really nicely with the Beast. Because at the end of the turn, if this unit is not the unit with the highest power on the battlefield, it will boost by 2. So as long as there's a bigger unit, either on your side of the board or on your opponent's side of the board, this guy's going to be getting bigger. And it can be really devastating in a round. Then if we look at our removal options, we have Ada, Striga. So we use this to damage an enemy unit by 2, but if we have the tallest unit, the biggest unit, then we damage it by 4 instead. And dominance units do include themselves in this kind of calculation. We also have Parasite, which can damage an enemy unit by 6, or we can boost an allied unit by 6. So we have a couple options there. We can use it to protect something, maybe like the Goliath if we think they're going to remove it, or we can use it to deal damage. Then onto our bronzes, we have 1 Bomb Heaver in here. This is just for countering scenarios. So this is good against things like Passiflora. We can use this to remove them. Masquerade Ball as well. However, if, you know, we don't think our opponent is running those cards, we can just mulligan this. And we sometimes will end up playing Royal Decree to find this card. Royal Decree, we can play a unit from our deck, and often you'll use it to find a big gold card, but sometimes you want to find Bomb Heaver. Then we have our Thrive unit, so a couple Endrega larvas. These have Thrive, and they spawn a base copy of themselves, so you get 2 little larva, And then every time you play something that is a higher value than the larva, it's going to boost up by 1. So if you play a 2, it goes up to 2. But then if you play another 2, it won't boost. But then if you play a 3, then it boosts again. So these are actually more powerful than they look. We have 1 Drowner as well, which has Thrive. Again, it's a 2-point unit. And we can also use this to deal damage to a unit and move it to the other row. So moving units around can be very useful. We have a couple Endrega warriors. These consume adjacent units and then spawn a drone in the row for each insectoid consumed. So we can use these to consume, say, little Arachases and then spawn more Arachases in order to kind of gain a little bit of value. They're also quite good. Sometimes you want to consume something to make sure you have the biggest unit on the board for things like Dominance or the Beast. And you can also use these to consume things, say if they've been poisoned or whatnot, in order to deny your opponent's removal. You can consume it and get rid of the poison by putting the points onto the warrior. Lastly, we just have a Wild Hunt warrior. We play this, we deal 1 damage, but if we have Dominance, we deal 3 damage. So yeah, that is the deck. It was made by the members of Team Leviathan Gaming, TLG. I'll have a link to their website in the description. And if you enjoyed the deck, don't forget to hit that like button. But without further ado, I'm going to jump into a ranked game now, and I'll showcase this deck in action for you. Okay, so we are against a Death's Shadows list. This is a leader ability, destroys an allied monster unit and then spawns and plays a base copy of it. So we really want to win this round. Sometimes they do run Haunt, so I think we will hold on to the Bomb Heaver. But in terms of the hand, we've got a Larva, which is nice for this round. We've got a lot of kind of removal options. Yghern is good because we want to get him in the graveyard for Ozzrel. I think I'm going to mulligan the natural selection. We got Imlerith, which is good. And are we going to play the A-Rush? We could potentially play the A-Rush. I think I'll mulligan the Wild Hunt Warrior as well. I got the second Larva. We probably won't play both of these this round. Let's kick the A-Rush, actually. Oh, we got Feast. I probably should have kept the A-Rush there, but sometimes it's a little bit awkward to play it from hand because you need clear rows. So we just open by playing our Endrega Larva. It's a very kind of standard opening. We probably don't want to play both Endrega this round if we can avoid it, because if we play both Endrega, then it means we don't have one for a later round, and Endrega can be quite powerful in that regard. The tricky part here is, like, what is the next play? And I actually think the next play is just to play Yghern. Yghern gains armor based on the number of units in our hand, sorry, number of cards in our hand. So if we play him now, we'll get a decent number of armor. And at the moment, there's nothing we really want to be too reactive to. Although we could Hideous Feast one of these actually and kill it. But the problem is, at the moment, if we boost the Endrega, then we're not really going to benefit too much from the Thrives. We could spawn a drone in order to do it, and I don't hate that as a strategy. So I think what we'll do before we play the Yghern, spawn a drone, we'll play the Feast. So actually the mulligan turned out quite good. Deal 3 damage and kill a Larva. Boost this, and then end our turn. This is also where the Wild Hunt Warrior would have been good, because it gives you that 3 damage removal.
Your blood will warm my bones.
So it's definitely time for Yghern. So let's play this. We can always play the Endrega Warrior also to consume these 2 little Arachas, not Arachas, drones. Well, they're Arachas drones. They used to be called Arachas drones. Now they're just called drones. But what have you? Am I going to click now? Yeah, let's just click. So let's do our Djinn as well. Just, you know, gives us some points, and then it gives us options to pass. We may play at least one more card to get the warrior out, but we'll see. Oh, if we had Glustyworp, because this is a swarmy list, we would basically really hard counter them by killing all of their wands. Unfortunately, Glustyworp not in hand, and Royal Decree not in hand, so it's going to be a little bit trickier, because what our opponent aims to do probably is get a lot of small units on the board, wands and stuff, and then go from there. Are we going to see... Nah, we got Plague Maiden. So Plague Maiden's awesome on this map. It pulls all these rats out. So this could be the pass, to be honest with you. But then I don't want to give our opponent control of the round. So in that situation, what we would do is we would just play Imlerith. And boost one of the drones. Unfortunately for us, no Glustyworp. which is kind of annoying. No beast either, so we don't have engines on the board either. We are up 30 points, though. But it's like, how much more do I want to play here? I've played Imlerith, so I can basically remove anything from his side of the board. Okay, that's really good for us, because we can just straight kill that. So I imagine he's going to consume the Plague Maiden. Yep, and then all of his Death Wish units. Is he going to consume the Endrega as well? He's not. He's not. But we can just kill the Yghern. He does still have all his wands he can boost, and he has plays that he can do around that. This is where if we had thing it would be good, but I think we take this. I think that's a good play. The fact that he's played Yghern, I think, is quite powerful, because usually you use Yghern to consume your Detlafs. Detlafs are little vampires that come out, and you can keep consuming them, and you can create multiple copies. And we got the pass, so now we're going to go for the bleed. I think we have to push this round, because we have a better short round. Like, our opponent's list is a lot more synergistic. Do we think he has the Haunt? This deck does sometimes have Haunt, because it gives you extra consumes and stuff. That's a good card. That's a good card. I mean, the Drowner, I feel like, is maybe mediocre. Let's kick the Drowner. Royal Decree. That means we can Glustyworp him. I think this is the hand. So, because we're playing Whispess Tribute on the back row, we want to play our Endrega on the front row. And we're going to use this to really push the bleed here. We also have access to Glustyworp now with Royal Decree, so if he does spawn loads of ones, tries that strategy again, we can try and preempt him boosting them by playing this, which is good. And there's the Haunt. Yep, so I'm glad we kept Bomb Heaver, because now we can destroy that. I always feel like such a butt, but I do quite like an emote here.
Grave error.
And then we just get rid of that. Yeah. And that's why you run the Bomb Heaver in the list, right? Because for decks which have scenarios, you're really countering the amount of value they can get out of them. So what we want to do next, I think, is play the Whispess, and then play the Beast. Because that's really going to help us with our bleed. So let's play that. Get the Adrenaline Rush. We'll go for the premium one, why not? Boost up our Whispess. Get another Arachas drone, and then end our turn. And it's like, how worried are we about this consume? We can parasite this target, but I'm not sure if it's correct. And we'll play our Beast next. So he's got Crones. That's fine. So let's play our Doggo. So he'll start gaining value. You can see it gets +2, and it keeps boosting until it's the highest unit on the board, basically. I'm wondering how hard we want to push this round. As long as we have Ozzrel for the final round, I feel like we're probably okay, but we also need to find our pass. But I really want to try and get some of his leader strategies out of him. Okay, that's the parasite target. He has one consume, right? So I think we just straight kill this, and I'm pretty fine with it. There we go. End turn. And then we've got... Let me think. We could go Glusty as well. We've got 4 charges on our leader. We've got 2 on the board. So Glusty would be... That would be 6 drones, right? So Glusty would be plus an additional 6 points for us. So it would be a 12-point play. What's he going to hit? So it doesn't really bother us that he's done that, really, because... I mean, we could pass here. Now, I think we have to push this. I think we push this with the Glusty, but... What are his last 3 cards? I know he's doing kind of consume strategies, and it's kind of something I'm a bit worried about. But I think it's probably fine. And we have the Beast triggering as well. We're gonna all in on this round at least. We could also play Ozzrel this round. We could try and 2-0. We'll see what happens after this play. So Glustyworp kills all the ones, boosts the Endregas as well, and then goes up to 18. And our opponent just forfeit. Yeah, so we could have actually tried to 2-0 there. That was really dominant. Wow. So send a GG. And yeah, so that's kind of giving you a flavor of the list. But bear in mind, like, I know my matchups, so I know kind of how to play against my opponent there. And I knew that pushing them in round 2 is important. And that's just something that comes from playing the game and thinking about your opponent's strategy versus your strategy. So it's something I do really recommend. But let's jump into another game now, and I'll showcase this deck in action once more for you.
Pride is all we've left.
Alright, so we're against the Mystic Echo list this time, which means harmony. So having removal options is good. Things like natural selection are actually really nice here. We don't have any Endrega, which is kind of annoying. We have the Whispess, which we can potentially use to pull a natural selection should we need to. I think what we'll mulligan for now is the Arush. Bomb Heaver. I mean, I doubt that a Mystic Echo list is playing this scenario, so I think we mulligan that as well. And there's an Endrega, which is nice. It's good to have. Give us a bit of tempo for the round. There's Percival. Do we have Parasite?
Has anyone seen me parrot?
Oh, he's boosted it straight away, so no Parasite for us, unfortunately. But, I mean, it does mean we can play the Beast. We could just slam the Beast here. Because Percival's going to be getting bigger, so it's going to be giving us options. But I think we can wait a little bit. And I think we want to get our Endrega on the board first. So let's do that. And then end our turn. And yeah, we do have some good options here in order to get some tempo on the go. This is nice, for example. Dwarven Skirmish is a really good counter to your Endrega. He's just going to straight kill one of them. And it's annoying when it happens, to be honest with you, but what are you going to do? Let's get our Beast going now, I think. And then end our turn. Because this kind of counters his own strategy a little bit. And 6 points is quite hard to remove. He's going to poison it. Ugh, I wish we had a Purify. I mean, we can consume it. If we expect it to die anyway, then the play would be to consume it here. And just preserve the points. So maybe that's what we should do. I think this is going to be a tricky round for us, honestly. So let's do that. It counters the strategy anyway, but it just means he doesn't get the removal. I don't really like it, though. The thing is, the deck doesn't run Purify, so you kind of have to just accept that that's something that would happen. But he was likely to poison one of our cards anyway. And I think we need Big Boy Yghern out soon. So we'll just kill the Trained Hawk. Basically just remove that. Boost that. End our turn. The issue is we're not going to have Dominance, which makes cards like Wild Hunt Warrior and Striga kind of awkward to play. And he's got another Hawk. That's unfortunate. Because it means he gets an extra Harmony trigger as well. So now we don't have Dominance options. So let's just play the Yghern. I mean, we're not too far behind. We're not very close, but we're not too far behind. We can also play Whispess Tribute, thin out an Arush. And then we'll kind of see where we're at that stage. In terms of the board state. It may be that we do a Glusty play here. Okay, he's played his Defender. That's interesting. It's very late. I guess that what that tells us, though, is he doesn't have a lot of great options. So I'm going to play this. Oh, we could have pulled Parasite with that. But then we wouldn't have been able to kill this anyway, really. So let's just take the Arush. Let's take the points. And actually now we're ahead on even. So power of the deck, you guys. I still think we can push this round. And if we have to play Glusty to do it, I mean, we eat the one on his side and gain 2 points. So we got 3 from that. 4, 5. So at the moment, the Glusty is 11. Oh, he's played Oak. That is expensive. He's going to kill Yghern. But it does allow our Ozzrel later on. I mean, how worried are we about double waters? We have removal for 2 of them. How many charges would we need? Let me think. We're on 24. So we're down 22 points. So we could get 10 and 6, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It would give us 21 points and put us ahead. So we just all in here with the Glusty? Maybe we do. Let's see what happens. Fuck it. So we'll do that. Oh, it puts us on even. I mean, I don't hate it. My maths was off by 1. I thought I'd be up 1, but apparently not. It does give us the biggest unit though, so now we can use our dominance. He passed. So I think we just play the Wild Hunt Warrior, to be honest with you here. And take the round card down. So let's pass. And like we still have great options, you know, we have Royal Decree in here, we have Ozzrel, we have options. We just need to be able to bleed. And I think even going down a card against Harmony, you're okay as long as you have your big boys to play later on. Triss is also a good option. So there's Imlerith, Endrega. Ooh, this is a nice hand. This is a nice hand for bleeding. We're going to kick the natural selection. Parasite. Cool. So we're going to push this round. The issue that we have with Imlerith is we don't have a great target because I used all my drones. Although Parasite's an organic card, right? So we can use that. Deciding. So this is probably Call of the Forest. Yep. So Valve, play an nature card into Waters. Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. So we'll just trigger one of these, and then we'll Parasite the other one. There we go. And really, if we can force out his leader, that would be the dream. But we'll get a Parasite target with... sorry, we'll get an Imlerith target with Parasite, right? Oh, do we want to kill the boar instead? I think we maybe want to kill the boar instead, because that's gonna... Well, how many turns is it? It's gonna be another 2 points. So this is worth 7. But we give him an opportunity to then play another Trent, which is worth 1. I think it's still probably correct to kill the boar. And then end our turn. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with where we're at with the bleed. I think we take the Imlerith as well. And the thing is with the leader, the longer he leaves it, the worse value it's going to be for him. So let's do this. And it also gives us the option for removal here. If he does go big, we basically can just destroy anything. He's already played Oak though. Like, what's he likely to play? Smuggler. This is the pass.
Got business for me?
I mean, we could kill that for 7. If we kill that for 7, how many points does he have? Now, he's got targets for Barnabas, right? So this is the pass, I think. I think this is the pass. Yeah. Because if we take in the 7 points, he does this. I mean, I guess we're up 1 at that point. But I'd rather get something powerful like this out of him now. And I'll hold on to a little bit of removal. A-Rush. Bomb Heaver. Oh my god, this is terrible draws. So kick the Bomb Heaver. Natural selection. Jesus! I need units. Could I draw any worse here? Guess we kick this. Oh, wow. We just top-decked really badly here. Like, if we got this, we get this. If we get this, we can play A-Rush. If we get this, it's 10 points. And we drew this, this, and this. Well, this, and... yeah.
My name? I don't recall.
So genuinely...
Got a hearty hankering for Gwent.
Genuinely, I think we are kind of scuppered here. So we need to play natural selection so that we can get a organic card. There we go. So we can actually boost it with Hideous Feast. But I honestly think we just drew a very poor hand, unfortunately. Because I think we played out the strategy correctly. Because we pushed so many good cards out of our opponent. We just didn't draw any of our good cards going into the final round. It's quite unfortunate. Really? So let's play this. I'm a little bit frustrated. Because we just needed something good. Let's hope he doesn't have another poison. We just needed something good. We're not even far behind at this point. You know, we've got 5 points down. The bleed was totally correct. Oh, and he's got the poison. So this is worth 1 point. So yeah, just really bad draws. And that's just something that happens in card games, you know? If we had Ozzrel, say, here, that would be another 14 points. And if we had one other gold card, we definitely would have won this round. We just top-decked questionably. which does happen sometimes. They had double poison as well, which was pretty lucky for them. We can deal 1 point of damage here. Look at that. I'll show you. And then maybe we should have played the Wrath last turn. But I was expecting to have a taller unit there, so the Wrath would have been worth a lot more than 1 in that situation. Like, if you have an Ozzrel, suddenly you have 14 points that you can then use for damage and stuff. So say we had the Ozzrel, we then play that, then we have a lot more damage to remove something on his side of the board. But never mind, it does happen. And I think that does showcase the strategy of the deck, even if in the end we didn't get lucky, you know. So, kind of shame, but never mind. So that is the deck. If you enjoyed the video, maybe leave a like. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. And you can always subscribe to the channel for more. You can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jaggerous, and on Twitter @Jaggerous. Have a lovely day, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!